The planet was dead. No wind, no animals, no sound, just dust and silence. It was called Vorta 7, a forgotten world on the edge of the galaxy. Long ago, something happened there, but no one remembered what. The ground was dry and cracked. The sky's always gray. Nothing lived there now. Or so everyone thought. A small alien ship landed near an old crater. It came slowly, carefully, as if the planet itself was dangerous. Inside the ship were 3 scientists from the Zalari race. They had 4 arms, blue skin, and large black eyes. They were experts in ancient signals. 1 week ago, they picked up a strange transmission from Vorta 7. It was weak, old, and in a language no one used anymore. But it repeated the same words over and over again. Status, sleeping, power, stable, target, not found. The aliens stepped out of their ship in silence. Their boots crunched the dry ground. They carried scanners and weapons just in case. The signal was coming from deep below the surface. They followed the signal to the center of the crater. There, buried, under layers of rock and metal, they found a hidden door. It was round, made of black steel, and covered in human writing. None of them could read it. 1 word stood out in red: Revenant. They placed a scanner on the door. It beeped, then flashed green. The ground shook. The door began to open, with a deep grinding sound. Dust flew everywhere. A dark tunnel led downward into the planet. The team looked at each other. Then they entered. The tunnel was old but strong. Lights on the walls flickered to life as they walked. Everything inside was silent, like it had waited for someone to return. After 10 minutes of walking, they reached a large chamber. In the center was a glass pod. Inside the pod was a human. He looked like a man, but not normal. His body was wrapped in black armor, smooth and sharp. His face was calm, eyes closed like he was sleeping. The aliens moved closer, confused and curious. One of them scanned the pod. "He is alive," he said. "Heartbeat slow, brain active. But something is strange. This armor, it's not metal. It's growing, like it's alive." Then the pod beeped. Everyone froze. A voice echoed in the room. It was deep, cold, and human. "Sleep cycle complete. Mission reboot. Checking world status. Error. Error. Humans not detected." The lights turned red. The human inside the pod opened his eyes. They glowed bright red. The pod opened slowly. The man sat up. He looked around. He didn't speak. He stood and stepped out, moving like a machine. The aliens backed away, weapons ready, but he did not attack. He looked at his hands, then at the aliens, then at the walls, reading the signs no one else could. One alien said, "Hello? Do you understand us?" The human turned his head slightly, then nodded once. Another alien asked, What are you?" The human answered in a calm voice, "I am the last defense, activated only if the humans fail." The aliens looked at each other, unsure what to do. The human walked past them, touching the walls as if remembering something. Suddenly, all their scanners and weapons stopped working. Dead. No power. The human had done nothing, but everything went silent. Outside, the alien ship powered down, by itself. Lights off. Engines off. Nothing moved. The human walked to the exit of the tunnel. As he stepped into the light of the dead world, he looked up at the sky. His face showed no emotion, only focus. The leader of the alien team asked, "What is your name?" The human did not look back. He only said 1 word, "Revenant." Then he started walking toward the horizon. Far above, in space, deep scanners from a passing cargo ship picked up the energy wave from the planet. The wave was not normal. It was old human tech, long thought extinct. The wave hit systems across nearby colonies. Warnings flashed on screens. Words appeared in old military code. Project Revenant Online. All systems active, stand by. The galaxy had forgotten the humans, forgotten their wars, forgotten their weapons, but something was now awake, and it was looking for something, or someone. The silence beneath the planet had broken, and the stars would soon feel it. The desert. Winds of Vorta 7 howled across the silent ground. Sandstorms had erased all signs of life long ago. But under the dust and stone, something had survived. It was deep underground, hidden in a forgotten human bunker, sealed for centuries. Then, it stirred. The machine mind came online slowly. Lights blinked. Power flowed. For the first time in Bika, say 300 years, the Relic awakened. His name was Revenant, a human warrior, once feared across the stars. His body was gone, but his mind had been saved, placed inside a living armor built in Earth's final days. He had been left behind to protect. Something, but what? He didn't remember yet. Revenant stood up slowly as the cryo locks hissed open. The metal walls around him lit up, recognizing him. Unit online, a soft voice said in his helmet. Mission data. Corrupted. Systems repairing. He looked. Around. The bunker was damaged. Sand had leaked in. Power cells were weak. But something outside had triggered his reawakening. A signal. Faint, old, but human. He stepped outside into the burning wind. Far above, a ship hovered in the sky. It was not human. A team of explorers from the Galactic Council had found the bunker by accident. They had come looking for old technology. They had no idea what they had found. The ship's scanner picked up movement. Something's coming out, one of them said. It's a suit? No, it's moving. It's alive. Revenant saw them. His system scanned their language and translated it instantly. Identify yourselves, he said calmly. The explorers stepped back. Whoa, we're peaceful. Just here for research. Revenant paused. He remembered diplomacy. He remembered war. He remembered nothing else. What year is it? He asked. They told him. It had been 312 years since Earth fell. Revenant went silent. Humans. He asked, where are they? The explorers looked at each other. Gone, one of them said. Destroyed in the final war. Your kind vanished. Revenant didn't move. He didn't speak. But deep inside his armor, something cracked, something ancient and angry. Impossible, he whispered. The explorers tried to leave, but one of them had already called it in. News spread fast. A human war relic, still active. The Galactic Council was in panic. In the high chambers of the capital world Lunaris, leaders gathered in fear. Human technology was banned for a reason, said Melora, a gray-skinned diplomat. One of their weapons survived? He is not a weapon, said Tarlin, a young council scholar. He's a soldier, a person. But others disagreed. Jex, head of council security, slammed his hand on the table. He's a threat. We must destroy him before he remembers what he was built for. Back on Vorta 7, Revenant stood alone on the surface. The explorer ship had left in fear, but the signal that woke him was still echoing in his system. He played it again. A soft voice. Human. Old. Broken. If anyone finds this, know that we tried. We fought. We hid the truth. If the Revenant lives, protect the archive. Protect Sanctuary. Sanctuary. The word echoed in his mind. He didn't know what it meant, but he would find it. He turned and began walking across the desert, one slow step at a time. Far above, hidden ships moved into orbit. Council warships. Jex had sent them without permission. He wanted the relic destroyed before it remembered everything. But as Revenant walked, his armor changed. It grew stronger, faster, smarter. It remembered what the man inside did not. And when the first missile fell from the sky, Revenant looked up calmly. He raised one hand. The missile stopped, in midair. Then it turned, spinning back toward the ship that launched it. and exploded. The council ship vanished in a ball of fire. Across the stars, every sensor lit up. A single human had just destroyed a modern warship. The galaxy went silent, and the questions spread like fire. What if more of them are still out there? Revenant stood alone, but not afraid. His systems whispered, memory restoring, weapon systems unlocked, mission incomplete. He looked toward the stars. If humans are gone, then I will find out why. The war may have ended, but his mission had just begun. Far away from Vorta 7, deep inside a quiet star station, a young alien historian named Tarlon studied forgotten records. He belonged to the Zerni, a peaceful race known for knowledge, not war. Tarlon loved ancient history, especially the mystery of the humans. Long ago, humans had fought a terrible war with the Galactic Council. Then, suddenly, they disappeared. No one knew how or why. Some said they were destroyed. Others believed they left on purpose. But one thing was certain. After they vanished, peace returned. Or so everyone thought. Tarlon found an old file marked, Class Red, Do Not Open. He hesitated. These files were forbidden, but the file had something strange. A code blinking in red. Revenant, status, active. That word again. Revenant. He had seen it in rumors. Now it was in an official file, recently updated. His heart beat faster. He opened the file. It was full of human war reports, mission logs, and dark science experiments. One project was listed as Project Revenant. It said, biological weapon, human-based, designed to outlive the war, sleeps underground on Vorta 7, wakes only if final failsafe is broken. Orders, protect remaining humans, eliminate all threats. Tarlon stared at the screen. This wasn't a weapon. It was a living soldier, programmed to survive for centuries, hidden beneath a dead planet just in case. He whispered to himself, the war never truly ended. It just waited. Meanwhile, on Vorta 7, Revenant continued walking. His systems were scanning the stars. No human life detected. That was impossible. He sent out encrypted signals in old human code, reaching for anyone. But no signal came back. His face showed no emotion, but his hands clenched tighter. Above the planet, a council scout ship arrived. The crew had received strange reports. Power surge, broken tech, lost communication. They saw the alien science ship below, completely shut down. No life signs. The pilot, a young warrior named Krivax, ordered a landing. As they stepped onto the surface, their weapons hummed. They moved in formation. Then they saw him, a figure in black armor standing still at the top of a rocky hill. Revenant turned to face them. No movement, no fear. Krivax shouted, identify yourself. This world is under council protection. The man did not speak. The soldiers aimed their rifles. Revenant raised his hands slowly, and the rifles all fell apart. The weapons broke in their hands, metal turning to dust. Panic followed. Some soldiers screamed, others ran. Krivax stood his ground, frozen. Revenant walked forward. His voice was calm, cold. I do not seek war. I seek my people. Where are they? Krivax answered, trembling. Humans are gone, long ago. Revenant stopped. For a moment there was silence. No wind, no sound, just the faint hum of his armor. Then he said, then why am I still alive? Back at the star station, Tarlon copied the file to a private chip. He knew the council would erase this if they found out. He had to act fast. He sent a message to a few trusted historians. He's awake. Project Revenant is real. Don't tell the council. But it was too late. The council had already detected the file breach, and they were afraid. In the great council hall, alien leaders of many races gathered. A large screen showed a single image, Revenant walking across Vorta 7, the head of security, a tall insectoid named Jex, spoke first. We must destroy him. He is a relic from the worst war in our history. A peaceful elder, Melora, shook her head. No. If we attack, we may start a second war. He has not harmed anyone, yet. Jex slammed his claw on the table. He destroyed weapons without touching them. He shut down a science ship without lifting a finger, Melora replied. And he did not kill. That tells us something. He is dangerous, yes, but also controlled. They argued for hours. Finally, the council voted. Send a fleet. Observe only. Do not engage unless he attacks. It was a mistake. The fleet arrived in the orbit of Vorta 7 2 days later. 10 warships, ready for anything. They disappeared in less than 1 hour. No distress signals, no signs of battle, just silence. One emergency pod was found days later. Inside was a shaken pilot. He said only one thing. He walked onto our ship, and everything stopped working. He didn't fight us. He didn't need to. The ship shut down, like it was afraid. Across the galaxy, fear began to spread. Project Revenant was not just a soldier. He was a message. Humanity may be gone. But their last weapon was still watching, and the stars were beginning to understand what that meant. The council chamber was silent. 10 warships had vanished above Vorta 7. No warning, no battle, just silence. The only survivor, a pilot found drifting, in an escape pod, kept repeating the same words. He didn't attack. He didn't need to. The ship died by itself. The leaders of the Galactic Council were now afraid. Jex, the head of security, stood before them. His hard shell reflected the dim lights of the chamber. This is no longer a small problem, he said. This is a Class Z threat. This Revenant must be destroyed before more ships vanish. Melora, the peaceful elder, shook her head slowly. Did you not listen? He didn't destroy the fleet. He disabled it. He could have killed the pilot, but he didn't. Maybe he's trying not to fight. Jex snapped back. Then why send a message in human war code across 8 systems? He wants attention. He wants power. But some in the council were now uncertain. They remembered old stories, the war with humanity, the unmatched strength of human technology, and the way humans fought. Not just with weapons, but with fear, with strategy, and with something no other species had: emotion. On Vorta 7, Revenant stood near the wreckage of the council fleet. The ships hadn't exploded. They hadn't burned. They simply stopped. Lights off, power gone, floating like dead birds in the sky. Revenant's armor glowed faintly as he scanned the area. His mission was clear: protect humanity. But now he faced a terrible truth. There were no humans left to protect. He spoke to the wind. If they are gone, then why was I awakened? Who activated my signal? He didn't know that his signal had reached across space, into machines left by humans long ago. Old beacons buried in lost colonies, silent bases on hidden moons, and now they were waking up too. Each one sent the same signal back: unit active, orders pending, humanity, status unknown. In the council chamber, the panic grew worse. More reports arrived. Across the galaxy, ancient human tech was waking up. Most of it had been forgotten, rusted, buried. But now it was turning on again, connected to Revenant Tarlon the Young. Zerni historian was called in to speak. He stood before the council, nervous but determined. This is not an invasion, he said. This is a search. The human relic, Revenant, thinks he failed. He thinks the war isn't over. He's looking for orders for humans, Jex growled. And what happens when he learns the truth? That they're gone? Will he destroy us then? Tarlon shook his head. He hasn't destroyed anyone. Not yet. We are the ones reacting with fear. Maybe we need to talk to him before we attack again. Jex laughed. You want us to talk to a living weapon? Tarlon replied. If we don't, we might wake up more of them. And next time, they might not be peaceful. The room went quiet. Back on Vorta 7, Revenant knelt on the rocky ground. He placed his hand on the soil. His armor sent deep signals into the planet, calling old satellites, old bases, anything once human. His voice was low, almost like a prayer. "Where are you? Where are my people?" And then, something answered. Far below the surface, an ancient satellite came online. It sent a message, not to Revenant, but to a location in deep space, a place even he didn't know. The message was short. Revenant has activated. Protocol Omega. Phase 1 confirmed. On a distant moon, hidden from all star maps, lights flickered in a ruined human outpost. Machines powered up, doors unlocked, and deep within, another pod opened. Empty. Someone or something had already left. Back at the council, new arguments began. Maelora now had more support. If there are more relics like him, we must learn. We must understand the past, not repeat it. But Jex prepared another plan. Secretly, he contacted the Drexen Syndicate, a group of violent mercenaries who didn't follow council rules. He paid them in weapons and credits. Find him. Test him. If he's too strong, bury him again. The council didn't know this. Not yet. But across the stars, fear spread like fire. Traitors whispered of a man in black armor who walked without. Ships who made machines die just by standing near them. Children heard bedtime stories about the silent human who watched from forgotten worlds. Pirates avoided systems where human beacons glowed red. Revenant had not attacked anyone. He had not fired a weapon. But entire fleets had disappeared. And the galaxy now whispered a single word: human. No one had said it in 100 years. Now, everyone was saying it again, and somewhere deep in space, something else was listening. The stars stretched like white rivers as Revenant's ship flew through deep space. The human signal grew stronger with every second. It was old, broken, but still alive. A message from a place that wasn't supposed to exist. Tarlin stared at the screen. "We're close." Revenant nodded. "Prepare for contact." Behind them, in the shadows of space, the Black Star fleet approached quietly. Their ships were coated with stealth tech, invisible to most sensors. But Revenant knew. His systems picked them up like dust in water. "They're here," he said. Tarlin turned. "They followed us?" "They always would. This is their last chance to erase the past." Revenant's ship exited faster than light travel, and then they saw it. Floating between two dying stars was a massive structure, bigger than any station, hidden inside a collapsed energy field, covered in dark metal, half buried in stardust. Tarlin whispered, "Is that sanctuary?" Revenant's voice lowered. "It is." The ship's AI spoke. "Welcome to Human Archive Node 01. Access granted." As they entered, huge gates opened. Inside were ships, buildings, towers, all untouched by time. A forgotten city in space. Lights flickered on slowly, one by one, like fireflies waking up. Tarlin stared in shock. "This place, it's beautiful. It's still working." Revenant walked forward into the station. His armor recognized everything. Walls responded to his presence. Doors opened without. Command. This was not just a base. It was a home, but it was empty. No people, no voices, only silence. Until... A soft tone echoed through the halls. Then a voice. A calm, female voice, familiar to Revenant. Revenant unit confirmed. Status, active, awaiting. New orders. Human command not found. Revenant spoke aloud. "Is anyone left?" Scanning. 3 life signals detected. Human DNA match, 87%. Tarlin gasped. "You mean there are survivors?" "Not humans. Hybrids. Genetic line preserved. Final protocol active." Far across the station, deep in cryo chambers, 3 pods began to hum. Inside them were sleeping figures, part human, part something else, descendants of those who had fled the war long ago. Revenant turned to Tarlon. They hid here, waiting, protecting what little was left. Tarlon said softly, "You found them." But peace would not last. Outside, the Black Star, fleet uncloaked, dozens of sleek ships surrounded the station. The lead commander sent a message to Revenant. "Surrender the sanctuary, or we open fire." Revenant stood on the control deck, silent. Tarlon said, "We can't fight them all." Revenant's eyes glowed brighter. "We won't." He touched the console. Across the station, ancient defense systems came online. Not missiles, not guns. Something older, something smarter. Human tech. The first ship to fire. Shut down instantly. Its systems froze, lights died, and it drifted like a stone. The second ship turned its guns and fired at its own fleet. Panic spread through Black Star. "What's happening?" "Systems corrupted. AI control lost." One by one, the ships fell. But Revenant gave no kill commands, only shutdown. No blood, no deaths, just silence. The Council fleet pulled back. The survivors fled into the stars, afraid of what they'd seen. Inside, the cryopods opened. A woman stepped out first. She was tall, pale, with eyes that glowed faint blue. She looked at Revenant. "You're still alive?" "I never stopped waiting," he said. She smiled. "Then neither did we." Tarlon watched in wonder. "Who are you?" She looked at him and answered, "We are what's left of humanity. And what comes next?" Revenant turned to the central console. "The galaxy must know the war is over. Humanity is not gone. We are here." The station began to send a signal, a message across the stars. Not a threat, not a warning, just one line. "We remember. We survived. We return." Back on Council Worlds, people saw the message. Some felt fear. Others felt wonder. But most felt something they hadn't in a long time. Hope. Melora watched the signal in silence and smiled. Jex resigned in disgrace, his fear defeated not by war but by truth. Tarlon chose to stay on Sanctuary, becoming the first alien ever welcomed into the old human archive. And Revenant? He stood at the heart of it all, once a weapon, now a guardian. The stars had forgotten humanity. But now, the stars would remember. And as light returned to the old station and voices filled the halls once more, one thing was clear. Humanity had not vanished. It had simply waited, buried beneath time. And now, it had awakened. Far from any safe star routes, the Drexen Syndicate flew in silence. Their ships were black, spiked, and armed with weapons banned by the Galactic Council. These were no ordinary fighters. They were hunters. Paid by Council Security Chief Jex, they were sent to capture or destroy Revenant, the human relic. But the Drexens had no idea what they were walking into. Their leader, a cruel warlord named Goran Krell, laughed as his ship neared Vorta 7. "It's just one man," he growled. "Armor or not, he bleeds like anyone else." His second in command, a reptilian named Vess, wasn't so sure. "The Council ships disappeared without a fight. That's not normal. We should be careful." Goran waved him off. "Care is for the weak. We strike fast, hit hard, and get paid." Meanwhile, on the surface of Vorta 7, Revenant stood on an old human platform scanning the stars. His systems had received a ping, one he hadn't seen in a long time. Another human signal. It was faint, far away, but real. He whispered, "Not alone." But before he could trace it, something else came, loud, close, and fast. 12 Drexen ships broke through the clouds and circled him like vultures. Goran's voice came through a speaker. "Stand down, Relic. You're valuable. But we'll take your body either way." Revenant said nothing. He did not move. He simply stood, watching. Goran gave the order. "Fire." The sky lit up. Missiles, plasma bolts, energy spears, all aimed at one man, but none reached him. The moment the weapons got close, they failed. Systems blinked, powered down, or turned around mid-air. One missile flew backward, hitting its own ship. Another turned to dust. Panic spread through the Drexen crew. What is this? He's not blocking us, he's rewriting us. Goran screamed, "Land now! Take him by hand!" 3 attack shuttles dropped to the surface. Dozens of armored Drexen soldiers charged toward Revenant. They fired every kind of weapon, but again, nothing worked. Guns froze, blades cracked. Grenades fizzled, then Revenant moved. He didn't run, he didn't shout, he walked. Each step shook the ground slightly. His armor shifted and glowed like it was alive. He grabbed one Drexen by the chest. His armor pulsed, and the mercenary fell, frozen, still breathing, but unconscious. The others ran. Vess shouted into his comms, "Retreat! Retreat!" But Goran refused. He dropped from his ship in his personal battlesuit, nearly 3 meters tall and burning with plasma shields. "You think you scare me?" he shouted. "You're just a shadow of a lost race!" Revenant turned slowly. "No," he said. "I am the proof they existed," Goran charged. His plasma blade came down like lightning. Revenant caught it in his bare hand. There was no sound, just a burst of white light. When it cleared, Goran's blade was gone. So was his arm. He fell to the ground screaming. Revenant looked down at him. "Go home. Tell them what you saw." Then he vanished, his armor bending light around him. The Drexens were left broken and silent. Back at the council, panic returned. Jex tried to hide what happened, but a few Drexens had already shared the footage. The man in black armor stopping weapons with thought, disabling armies without blood. The galaxy was watching. Melora demanded answers. "You hired killers to destroy him? Without telling us?" Jex shouted. "We had no choice!" Tarlin stood and raised his voice. "You keep saying that, but he never attacked first. He keeps asking the same thing. Where are the humans?" Jex snapped. "They are gone, and the sooner he accepts that, the sooner this ends." Melora looked at Jex with cold eyes. "No. The sooner you accept it, the safer we all are." On a secret channel, Tarlin sent a message to Revenant. He used ancient human code, pieced together from his research. He wrote, "I believe you. I want to help you find answers. Please meet me. I won't bring weapons." He waited. For hours. No reply. Then late in the night, his screen flickered. One word appeared. "Agreed." Far away, Revenant stood alone at the edge of a canyon. His systems were quiet. His mind was not. He had touched war again, but this time, it wasn't his choice. He had defended himself, but now he needed truth. The humans were gone. But maybe their secrets were not, and the stars still held something he hadn't found yet. Hope. Tarlin stood alone on the quiet moon Syra 3, waiting. He had come without guards, weapons, or backup. Just a small bag of ancient human data files and a deep hope that Revenant would keep his word. The cold wind blew across the rocky ground, and the stars above shimmered like silent watchers. Then, without sound or warning, Revenant appeared from the shadows. He didn't walk. He simply was there. His black armor reflected the starlight, and his voice came soft and steady. "You kept your word." Tarlin nodded nervously. "So did you." For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Tarlin stepped forward slowly and opened his bag. "I found these in old records. Human colonies. Abandoned research stations. Some were destroyed, but some might still be out there." Revenant's eyes glowed faintly behind his helmet. "You believe humans might still exist?" Tarlin hesitated, then said, "I don't know, but I believe something remains. Maybe not people, maybe memory, a message, a plan." Revenant took the chip Tarlon offered. When he touched it, his armor pulsed and downloaded the data instantly. He stood still for several seconds, reading everything in silence. Then he spoke. "Coordinates, a location in deep space, marked as Sanctuary." Tarlin's eyes widened. I saw that name in a few other places. No one knows what it is. Revenant turned toward the sky. I do. He looked back at Tarlin. It was our last plan. If we lost the war, some humans were to go into hiding. Not on planets, not in colonies, but between stars, silent, hidden, waiting. Tarlin took a step closer. Then there's still hope? Revenant didn't answer directly. He looked to the sky again and said, If they are alive, I will find them. If they are not, I will protect what they left behind. Suddenly, both turned. A soft hum filled the air. A council drone appeared above them, cloaked but now visible. It had been watching. It flew away at high speed. Revenant said nothing. He raised one hand, and in a second the drone shut off and dropped from the sky like a stone. He looked at Tarlin. They followed you. Tarlin's face paled. I didn't tell anyone. But I used council comms to contact you. Revenant nodded. Then they know, and they will come. Far above, in the council war room, Jek stood watching the footage from the drone. He's working with a council citizen now, he hissed. Treason! Maelora stepped forward. It's not treason to seek peace. Jex ignored her. Prepare the final protocol. If he reaches this sanctuary, we lose everything. Council technicians activated Protocol Blackstar, a massive fleet of stealth ships equipped with experimental weapons. Their target, Revenant and anyone helping him. At the same time, word of the meeting between Tarlon and Revenant spread across the galaxy. Smugglers, traders, and explorers whispered that the ghost of humanity was seeking something. Some wanted to stop him. Others wanted to help. On Syra 3, Revenant prepared a ship, an old hidden human craft beneath the surface. Tarlin followed him down into the chamber. The ship was like nothing Tarlin had ever seen. It hummed with quiet power, sleek and alive. Human design. Efficient. Beautiful. This still works after all these years? Tarlin asked in awe. Revenant replied, Human machines don't sleep, they wait. They entered the ship. As the door closed, the lights glowed blue, and a voice spoke in Old Earth Standard. Welcome back, Revenant. Final path unlocked. Destination, Sanctuary. The engines ignited, but they were not alone. In deep space, the Black Star fleet was already moving, silent, fast, and deadly. Tarlin watched the stars blur as they entered faster than light travel. What happens if we find Sanctuary? He asked. Revenant was quiet for a moment. Then he said, Then we learn if humanity truly ended, or if it simply became legend. In the dark corners of the galaxy, old human satellites flickered on. Ancient AI systems awoke. Forgotten voices whispered through the void, and somewhere far ahead, something answered, a return signal, a human signal. Weak, but real. Revenant stared at the blinking light on his console. Tarlin leaned forward. Is that it? Revenant's voice was calm but colder now. It's not just a signal. He paused. It's a call for help. Behind them, the Council's secret fleet followed. Ahead of them, the truth waited, and the stars were no longer silent.